College football playoffs are here, so we have to do a simulation on it in College Football 25. Let's get right into it. We have Clemson going into Texas next week in real life, about a week and a half, but almost close next week. What do you have in these college football playoffs? Who do you have in the national championship? In my opinion, I have Notre Dame versus Oregon, and I have Oregon winning the national championship this year. I just think Notre Dame's running. They're so good at running the ball. I think teams could struggle at that. So let's make sure I'm not controlling any of the teams. Of course, we don't want that to happen. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be going by quarters, and Texas is up 6-0 to end this first quarter. This is going to be the full entire playoff bracket. Make sure to comment down below on who you have in these college football playoffs. But Texas absolutely destroying Clemson. Does get a field goal to end the half. They do get the ball start, but they do not capitalize on anything. No points yet. No points in that third quarter. Let's see what happens in this fourth quarter. Clemson scores a TD, but Texas scores right back. Clemson finally getting some offense, but it's not mattering because Texas's offense holds strong. Clemson did score 28 fourth quarter points, but it does not matter. Texas wins by 14, and Quinn Ewers and the Texas Longhorns are going on to the next round. Our next playoff matchup, it's a very, very good one. It is Ohio State versus Tennessee. It's going to be at Ohio State. Remember, Ohio State is coming off of that bad loss against Michigan, their biggest rivals, and then they go against a very, very good team in Tennessee with their quarterback, Nico, who has proven that he is the future of the Tennessee Volunteers. And I actually did record this video yesterday. A bunch of the files just were not loading at all. Nothing was working, so I'm doing this video again, but Georgia won that national championship yesterday when I recorded that. But I also said Malachi Nelson, Boise State's backup quarterback, is going to be the future for Boise State. And just 25 minutes ago, ESPN, they put out a statement that Malachi Nelson has entered the transfer portal. So I'm glad that video was not posted because, a lot of those facts have been wrong. But, of course, we have to just sim this game. Make sure we're not controlling any of the teams. We're going to be super simming. And also, there's some more college football news. After I posted that video, Bill Belichick, new head coach for North Carolina, drop in the comments how you think that's going to work out. But Ohio State up 10-3 to start this one out. 13-3. Tennessee struggling. Tennessee does get a touchdown to end the half. Third quarter right here. Tennessee trying to get some points on the board. Ohio State gets a touchdown and is 20-10 to end this quarter. Fourth quarter time. Tennessee needs something. They get a field goal. Ohio State with the field goal as well. Tennessee with the touchdown. But Ohio State is going to get the game-sealing TD and win 30-27. And Ohio State is on to the next round. Oh, man, Will Howard must have done very, very good. Running backs must have done very, 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 very good. And our next matchup, we have SMU versus Penn State. Almost just choked on myself right there. And then SMU, Kevin Jennings, their quarterback, Rashard Smith, the running back, two of the best players on their offense. They have shown why they were put into the college football playoffs. I believe they went 11-1. And of course, 11-2 if you count that college. Sorry, I'm doing this completely wrong because Penn State should be at home. But, Penn State, one of the best teams in the nation, while SMU has proven they can be in the playoffs, like I said. And, this is going to be a good matchup. But this being at Penn State and likely, I don't know if it's a home game. I know it's a home game. I don't know if it's a night game. If it's a night game, I don't think SMU has a chance at all, but you never know. This is college football. Kevin Jennings proven he can win these big games. Of course, he cannot pull it out against Clemson. They've only beat teams like Louisville, who didn't finish the year at the top 25 spot. But Penn State, I put this game at 8 p.m., and for some reason, it is night. It is daytime out there, so that does not make too much sense. Who do you have winning this game in real life? In my opinion, I do have Penn State. It's been pretty simple, pretty easy for them to win this. They have all the talent in the world. They almost beat Oregon in the Big Ten Championship, which was basically a home game for Penn State. They travel pretty well. SMU does score a touchdown while Penn State does the same. And SMU is up 21-7 to end this half. Oh man, SMU does not capitalize. Penn State driving but does not get any points, and SMU has the ball at the start of the fourth quarter. They do get a touchdown. Penn State does the same. SMU, Penn State. What's going to happen? Penn State is going to get nothing. SMU upsets Penn State. Their 21-point second quarter helped them win this game, and Kevin Jennings and SMU wins this game. Oh my goodness. That was not expected. Our next matchup, will we see another upset? We have Notre Dame versus Indiana. One of the best matchups we've in this college football playoffs for one reason. Just because this is an in-state matchup. Both these teams are in Indiana. This is a Friday night game. It's the first game actually in this college football playoffs. It's next Friday. The rest of the games will be on Saturday, and then we have to wait a week for the other games. And Notre Dame is at home for this one. The reason I have Notre Dame in the national championship, the run game. Riley Leonard is very, very good. And, of course, every single time we cannot control the teams. So, Indiana, they have a great roster. I just don't think they can pull this one out. I think Notre Dame is just the better team. But let's see what happens in College Football 25. All right, first quarter right here. Notre Dame gets a quick touchdown while Indiana has three straight 3-and-outs. Notre Dame up 14-0 to end the first quarter. Notre Dame gets a field goal. They score 3 of their 4 drives. They don't score there. Indiana needs points. They do get a field goal, but Notre Dame is up 24-6 to end this half. Indiana, they need points. They cannot get any, but they do get a touchdown right there. Indiana trying to make the comeback. Notre Dame has the ball to start the fourth quarter. What will happen? Indiana gets a TD, but Notre Dame scores right back, and Notre Dame is in possession to win this game. It is a 3-possession game, and Notre Dame is on to the next round just like that. Wow. Notre Dame is on to the next round. I thought Indiana could pull that out for a second. Thought they could pull that out for a second. But we are at the second round, which we are actually going to start with Ohio State. We're going to start with Ohio State versus Oregon, a matchup that could actually happen. Obviously, it's the playoffs, but Ohio State versus Oregon, a rematch of the Big Ten Championship. And this is going to be a great one if this happens in real life. Two of the best teams in the nation fighting out for a second time. I think I said it was the Big Ten Championship. Meant they played in the regular season, but Ohio State versus Oregon. In my opinion, like I said, I do have Oregon winning this game. Let's see what happens. Oregon, Ohio State. It's probably the best matchup of the whole entire second round here in College Football 25. But this game is going to be amazing if it's actually played. Of course, Ohio State has to beat Tennessee first, but Ohio State, Oregon, it probably should have been the Big Ten Championship. Ohio State could have beaten Michigan easily. They were at home. They had all the odds in their favor, but Michigan's proven that they own Ohio State in the 2020s. Starting out here in the first quarter, Oregon gets a TD, and they get a field goal just like that, 10-0 Oregon. Not too bad. We're here in the Rose Bowl where Oregon will be playing their first game against Tennessee or Ohio State. And Ohio State's made a little comeback, but Oregon scores a touchdown to end the first half. Here comes Ohio State down the field. They do get a field goal. Oregon with nothing, but they do have the ball inside the 20. Oregon does get a field goal. They get a touchdown immediately after, and they get another TD and a field goal. So Oregon is actually going to blow out Ohio State. Ohio State got a couple TDs at the end there to make the score a little closer. But Oregon is going to the third round, and they'll be going against Texas or Arizona State, which is our next matchup. Texas, arguably one of the best teams in the nation. They are a top 5 seed in these playoffs, where they have to go against the 4 seed Arizona State Sun Devils. And, Arizona State, they do get the bye. It's the first round. Texas coming off of, a big win against Clemson. And, we got to make this the Peach Bowl, which I believe is this matchup. If I got it wrong, hopefully I did not. Texas, Arizona State, in my opinion, I do have Texas. They should easily win this one. And, yeah, Texas, they have all the talent. They're in the SEC. Arizona State, they are in the Big 12. SEC is probably the best conference. They proved that a lot of their teams that should have been bad were actually decent this year. Vanderbilt, one of those teams, projected last, and, we're a team kind of in the middle there. But Arizona State, they were also projected last in their conference, and they won it in their first year. A lot of teams won it in their first year or just made their conference championship in the first year, like Oregon, Arizona State, SMU. I believe there's another team I'm missing, but Texas was a team that made their conference championship in their first season in their new conference. Texas actually have 27-17, but now they're up 30-17. While this Arizona State offense struggled in that third quarter, did not score any points, and Texas is likely going to win this game. They're up 46-17 now, 46-24, and Texas is going on, and they'll be going against Oregon. They'll be going against Oregon in the third round, I believe. And let's get into this next. On the other side of the bracket, we will have Georgia versus Notre Dame, one of the best matchups in this, one of the best matchups just in general. It's crazy how good a talent we're seeing in these college football playoffs. I know a lot of people don't like, how the layouts, I feel like some people are saying there should be more teams. Some people are saying there should be less teams. Some people are just saying, let's just not do the format at all. But I do like how we are getting these big name teams going against each other in big games. The winner of this game will go against SMU or Penn State or Boise State, as we saw. Penn State already beat SMU, but Georgia off to a quick 24-0 start. Notre Dame only has 3 points now of 10 points, so they let Georgia score immediately after. It is 31-10 at the end of the first half. Notre Dame, they do get a TD, they do get a field goal, but they let a field goal go to Georgia. But Notre Dame, they do have the ball here. They could make a sneaky comeback. They do get a TD. They have the ball now. It's a field goal game. And Notre Dame gets a field goal, but Georgia gets the first down. And they are going on to the third round and is one game away from going to the national championship. And they'll be going against Boise State or Penn State, while Penn State is the home team. They won't be playing at home, but they do have a little bit of advantage because they get their jerseys they want. They got the good jerseys on, and also Penn State. I don't know where this. I think this played the Fiesta Bowl. I don't know where that is actually played. It might be played at Hard Rock Stadium. So I don't know who really has the home field advantage right here. Of course, nobody has it, but the closer you are, the easier it is to travel. I think this is played. I think it might be played in Phoenix, actually, where the Cardinals play. I could be wrong though, but the way that picture is, it has cactuses. Yeah, it is where the Arizona Cardinals play. But we have a great matchup right here between Penn State and Boise State. Two great teams, both run-first teams. We saw Nick Singleton and Katron Allen dominate Oregon on the run game. And, of course, Ashton Jeanty, Heisman candidate, which the Heisman ceremony is very, very soon. Boise State actually up 14-7 with the ball. Like I said, Malachi Nelson just entered the transfer portal for the second time in his career. As you know, he committed to USC. Did not work out his first year. Did not play at all this season. So, he does enter the transfer portal again. It's 2017 Boise State, and they have the ball. This is unexpected. I was not expecting that. I will check the stats after this game because I'm guessing Ashton Jancy is dominating. But Boise State is going to win this game. I was not expecting that. Boise State is going to win this game. I want to check the player stats. What did Ashton Jancy do? Maddox Matson, 310 yards. And Ashton Jancy with only 90 rushing yards with 2 TDs. But a lot of receptions as well. Boise State's going to go against Georgia. Oh my goodness, but first we have to do Oregon versus Texas, and that's going to be a good one. If that's playing in real life, that's going to be a pretty dang good game. Oregon, Texas. Ooh, I don't know who I got on this one. I think I'm going to go with Oregon. Of course, I have them in my national championship, so obviously I do have to go with Oregon here. Ooh, this is going to be a good matchup if this happens in real life, and all the odds favor this happening in real life. I don't know where these matchups are played, so I'm just going to put both these games in the Orange Bowl. I guess it doesn't really matter where it's played, to be honest. It is only in College Football 25. It is not in real life. So, Oregon, Texas, let's get into it. Oregon, Texas right here. Oregon gets a touchdown to start their drive. Texas with 3 points on their first drive. Oregon up 14-3 at the Orange Bowl. Oregon up 17-3. Texas needs to get something going on offense. They do get a field goal. 24-6 to end the first half. Oregon is dominating on all cylinders here. 31-9, 38-9, 38-12. No touchdowns for Texas. And this game is over. Oregon with another touchdown. Texas with their first TD. I bet they have Arch Manning in this game. But Oregon, they do pull out the W and beat Texas. And Oregon is headed to the national championship, and they will play the winner of the Georgia versus Boise State game, which I was not expecting. I was not expecting Boise State to be in this one. I was expecting Penn State to be in it, but, a lot of crazy things can happen, and you never know. Boise State could win in real life. They got the run attack. They can possibly, do something well in these college football playoffs. They got Ashton Jancy, obviously, and Maddox Madsen has played a lot better than I thought he would, and their receivers playing really good, and their cornerbacks, they dealt with some injuries in their conference championship at their cornerback position, but they should be getting those guys back. They basically have a month to, work out and stuff, practice and all that, because they have that bye, so they have an extra month of practice and an extra month, including Georgia as well. They basically get an extra month, except they played basically the day after the Mountain West Conference Championship. Georgia up 14-7 quick. Boise State ties it up, and it's 14-14. High scoring game here in the first quarter. Winner goes against Oregon in the national championship. Georgia up 24-14, but Boise State is only down 4. And Boise State will get the ball here. Boise State with the touchdown. Boise State, oh my goodness, Georgia up 31-27. Holy, Georgia, they do get a field goal. Boise State, they do get a touchdown. Georgia with the TD. Boise State cannot get a TD, and Georgia is going on to the national championship. I thought Boise State could maybe pull it out, but Georgia is going on to the national championship. In my thumbnail, I actually have Ashton Jancy and Dylan Gabriel. I thought that was going to be the national championship, but it is not, and it's going to be Oregon versus Georgia in the national championship. By odds, by seeding, this would be the national championship, so this was expected by overall, and by, Oregon's the 1 seed, Georgia's the 2 seed. They're also both ranked that way, so, absolutely insane. Carson Beck versus Dylan Gabriel. This probably will be the matchup anyways, even if Gunnar Stockton is playing well. You got to give Carson Beck that chance, since he will be drafted in the NFL draft next season. But look at that national championship trophy. Oregon fans, Georgia fans splitting the field. And man, oh man, this would be a great national championship. It would be fun to see Oregon, but it would not be fun to see Georgia, just because Georgia's been in the national championship 2 out of the last 3 years. So it would not be fun, but you see Georgia walking out but we will not be seeing that as Georgia versus Oregon. This would be, like I said, it'd be a great national championship, but, not a fun one. Two of the best teams. You want to see some of the underdogs get into these games, but let's see what happens in the Georgia versus Oregon national championship. So I picked Oregon and Notre Dame to be in the national championship, and it is Oregon being in the national championship. Oregon up 10-0, but Georgia takes Notre Dame's spot. Georgia, they need a touchdown. They do get a TD. Oregon has scored in all their possessions except that one. Oregon up 24-14. Georgia cannot get points on their final drive. Oregon will start the ball here. They're up 31-14. Now it's still 31-14. No points in that third quarter, which actually hurts Georgia. Oregon up 38-20. Or Georgia trying to make a sneaky comeback, and they cannot do it. And Oregon is your national champions in the 2024-2025 college football season. As projected, Oregon is your national champions, and Oregon gets the job done, and Georgia cannot pull off the mini upsets. And Oregon, they win the national championship. Dillon Gabriel goes out on a high note. His long college career, starting at UCF, then to Oklahoma, and then transferring to Oregon. He wins his first national championship, and Oregon wins their first national championship, and they stun Georgia. What a game. I thought Georgia maybe could have made a comeback right there. Dillon Gabriel, 5 passing TDs, 266 passing yards, a 72% completion percentage. Great game, as you can see that beautiful trophy. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe to be a part of the GOAT Game. Make sure to put your playoff predictions in the comments. Predict every single playoff game, and make sure to say who your national champion is. Make sure to like and subscribe to be a part of the GOAT Game, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.